Hello all, welcome to Sakti's AI Junction. So I have created a new playlist which is dedicated to Llama Index, and here I will be posting a lot of videos on integrating Llama Index to one of the LLM and how do we build an GenAI app on top of it. So let me give a small introduction. We all know LLMs are phenomenal piece of technology for knowledge generation and reasoning. They are pre-trained on large amounts of publicly available data, and this Llama Index is one of the data framework to help you build LLM apps. Llama Index has a lot of offerings from their end, mainly data connectors and structuring of the data and query retrieval and integrations. So with these four offerings, we would be able to build a GenAI app. So data connector is all about ingesting your different data sources and the formats into your existing pipeline. The data sources could be like DB, website, API, and the file formats like a different PDF, text document, PDF document, SQL, JSON files, everything, and structuring of the data. So this is one of the most important step where we have to create indexes for our data so that it is in a structured format. So that would be easy in the next steps. So whenever this query retrieval, everything is happening, so it goes to that indexed data and look for that relevant content. It doesn't go by row by row. Okay, so that is why this index is of very important in LLM phase because that gives the easy or that accurate retrieval of the content. Okay, and the next one, the third offering is that querying interface over the data. So when we when we have that query, user query, and the relevant context that we identified from the previous sources, we would be able to query over the data and fetch that response. So it is kind of an orchestration where when you pass the query, that will internally do that retrieval from that existing indexes and pass that to the LLM and give that LLM response. And the final offering is easy integration. Our application can be integrated with other external sources like LangChain, Flask, Docker, and LLM model, any etc. Okay, and so we will see like how do we work on this using Python. And when you install this Llama index, these packages are available under either .core or simply it is a plain. So when it is a .core means the core packages of Llama index, right? That will be available in this module, Llama index.core.llms, meaning core modules like core packages like this data connector, structuring the data and retrieval, everything will be available in Llama index.core. And for the integrations with external sources like OpenAI, Flask, Docker, that will be available under non-core Llama index.llms dot those external sources. Okay, so here we will take this RAG as an example, and we will dig deep dive into this. The reason why I have picked RAG, this is the because the reason is this is the most predominant use case that like more 99%, 99.9 percentage of Gen AI is all about building a RAG and using it. So we all have come across this RAG, but so we will go deep into it. So your data can be present in database or different type of documents and APIs. So this could be structured, unstructured, and programmatic. See all this data we have to index, meaning we have to create a structured format of over your vector embeddings along with the metadata, and we will store it somewhere. Okay. So once a user is asking a query, and it will go to that index and to find that relevant data. So the prompt plus query plus relevant data will be fed to the LLM, and this LLM will give the response. The prompt is all about system instructions, intending we are telling what the LLM should do. So this is a overall skeleton of a RAG. Any RAG, whatever you take, this would be the basic fundamentals of it. So we will take each components of the RAG and we will dig deep into it by using Llama index. Okay, there are five stages in RAG: loading, indexing, storing, querying, and evaluating. Loading means like extracting the data from different sources. Indexing, create a structured representation of the data for efficient search and retrieval. The third one is storing. Store the indexed data in a storage medium like VectorDB. And the fourth is a query using LLM plus framework to perform various strategies of query like a straightforward query, subquery, multi-step query, and hybrid search, and over the structured data. And then the last one is evaluation, like how far our response is accurate, faithful, and faster the query. So these are all the five stages of our RAG, and we will see like for each of the phases, how do we leverage Llama index, to build our RAG. Okay, so let's get started with our uh, Python Jupyter notebook. Okay, so the Python version, whatever I have is the Python 3.1. And so before that, make sure you have a virtual environment created. So how do we create? You can just choose here, select another kernel, Python Jupyter, and create a Python environment, and it will be asking for VNV. So this is where we create a VNV class. So since I have already created a virtual environment, I'm not doing that right now. Okay, so I have the Python installed and the version is a 3.1 and the virtual environment, it's the same thing. Okay, and the primary package for Llama index is like pip install llama hyphen index. Okay, so this is the package which we'll be playing in our upcoming videos. And as I have mentioned, I'm going to use OpenAI as LLM model. So the OpenAI key has been given in this .env file, which I'm not going to expose. So in order to fetch that env file, I have used python.env. Python, it's a package where you will be able to read the .env file and store those variables in some other variables. So for that you can use uh, it's a Python hyphen .env like this one. Python Python hyphen .env. Okay. So this env file path, I'm joining it with the current directory and the config folder and the .env file. From this, I'm assigning the OpenAI API key, the environment variable, by getting the values from my env file. Okay, so this is our overall intro. I mean, in the upcoming videos, we will see for each component of or different stages of our RAG and how do we leverage Llama index. Thank you. We will see more detail or in our upcoming videos. Thank you.